Open carry can be a very touchy subject for some, and now it is the law. And police departments across Texas are bracing for more phone calls and more false alarms, actually. But simply, right now, all license holders can carry their handguns in plain view, so long as their gun is in a shoulder or belt holster. But what are a lot of people are confused about today are where people can't carry their handguns. So joining me this morning is Justin Sparks. He's a born and raised Texan, a criminal defense lawyer, and one of the top attorneys in Fort Worth. So Justin, thanks for getting up early with us this morning.
Well, thank you for having me.
To answer some of these questions. The first one I have is I have my concealed handgun license, and I was a little confused by reading because I'm seeing the term LTC, so I'm thinking, well, I don't have the right permit, so I can't carry, but you're telling me it's the same thing, actually?
It is. LTC stands for license to carry. So if you currently have a permit, it is good now. And what they're doing is they're replacing those as they come up for renewal. So the only thing that will change is the name of it.
Okay, so a CHL is the same thing, and as long as I have it in is there a certain approved type of holster that I have to go purchase, or?
There's not. The law only specifies a belt or shoulder holster. It does not have to have any type of restraint whatsoever.
Okay, so another question. I'm a parent. You know, I have 2 teenage boys, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of questions from parents on what to tell their kids, because all of a sudden now there may be more people walking around in the grocery store and Walmart, perhaps, wherever, carrying guns. What do you tell your kids?
I think you tell them the same thing you would say maybe if a child saw an officer with a firearm, is they went through the proper training, they went through the proper background checks, they've been checked mentally and psychologically. You know, if they're not fit, their license is taken away and they can no longer carry that firearm. So those persons have been screened properly in order to do so.
And that's a very good point as well. What should citizens do if they are concerned? If they see someone with a sidearm and they're concerned, maybe the person is acting erratically or takes the gun out of the holster, when do you call the police?
I think if the gun leaves the holster, there has to be some sort of threat, either threat of force or deadly force, and that's when you call 911. If the gun is still in the holster and you're just concerned with that certain person, then I think you call the information line and let them know.
And we have a couple of other tips as well. Anyone who is intoxicated, who has a gun on them, you can certainly call the police for that. If you see them like acting recklessly, as you see they are committing a crime, obviously, you'd want to alert the authorities.
Absolutely. Intoxication, whether you have a license or not, you cannot have a firearm.
Very good point. All right, so lastly, what about businesses? There's several that we've already said aren't going to allow, some that we've said are. What if you're a business owner and you really just do not want guns on your property? What do you need to do?
You need to post 2 signs now. It used to be just 1 sign that you cannot carry. There are now 2 signs. 1, you cannot conceal carry, and 2, you cannot open carry. You must post signage on the entrances of your building, of your storefront, and make it known.
Okay. I had a couple other questions. I know we're out of time. One was crossing state lines with your sidearm, or like Brandon has his CHL from another state. Any questions, any further things? What should people do for information?
People should call an attorney. People should call and check, get information. Don't just guess. A lot of states recognize our licenses, but not all of them.
Okay. Great information. Justin, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.